Welcome to our Mock Interview Pro series, where we're dedicated to guiding you towards success in your Salesforce Developer interviews. Today, we'll dive into some key questions you might face and how best to handle them. Let's get started with our first topic about teamwork on Salesforce projects. Can you tell me about a time you collaborated with a team to complete a Salesforce project? What was your role and how did it turn out? Interviewers ask this question to understand how you function in a team setting and your ability to contribute effectively to collective goals. Here are some key points to keep in mind when preparing your answer. Think of a specific project where teamwork was crucial. Clearly describe your role and responsibilities. Discuss the collaboration techniques your team used. Highlight the project's outcome and its impact on the organization. Reflect on challenges and how your team overcame them. Now, here's an example of how you might structure your response.
In a recent project, I was part of a team responsible for implementing Salesforce for a client. My role involved developing custom Apex classes and managing data integration. We used agile methodology, holding daily stand-ups to stay aligned. The project concluded successfully, improving the client's sales tracking by 30%. Another example is when I led the development in migrating our company's legacy CRM to Salesforce, focusing on building custom objects and workflows. We communicated through weekly meetings and used Salesforce Chatter for updates. The project was completed on schedule, enhancing user experience and boosting productivity by 25%.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for Salesforce Developer. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Describe a challenging problem you encountered during a Salesforce implementation and how you resolved it. This question aims to assess your problem-solving skills and ability to handle obstacles effectively. Let's discuss some strategies for answering this. Identify a specific, significant challenge you faced. Explain the context and reasons it was challenging. Detail the steps you took to resolve the issue. Highlight any tools or techniques you utilized. Conclude with the positive outcome and lessons learned. Consider this example to guide your answer.
In a recent project, we faced a major data inconsistency issue during an integration with an external system. The data wasn't mapping correctly, causing fields to be mispopulated. I spearheaded the troubleshooting by reviewing both systems' data structures and worked with the vendor to fix the API mismatch. After implementing the solution, we validated data accuracy, vastly improving our integration reliability. In another instance, during a Salesforce rollout, we dealt with user adoption challenges because of complex interface layouts. I gathered user feedback and collaborated with our UX designer to simplify the layout. We held training sessions that helped users adapt quickly, resulting in a smoother transition and increased engagement.
Have you ever led a team on a Salesforce project? What was your approach and what were the results? This question evaluates your leadership skills and ability to drive a team towards successful project completion. Here are some points to consider when crafting your response. Briefly describe the project and your leadership role. Explain how you organized your team and delegated tasks. Highlight the communication methods you employed. Discuss any challenges faced and your solutions. Conclude with the project results and its impact. Here's a sample answer to illustrate.
In my previous role, I led a team of 5 in a Salesforce implementation project. I organized the team by assigning roles based on each member's strengths and held daily stand-ups to keep everyone aligned. A major challenge was integrating third-party tools, but through effective communication and teamwork, we completed the project on time, increasing our sales team's efficiency by 30%. Additionally, I led a cross-functional team for a Salesforce upgrades project to enhance user experience. I set clear timelines and weekly milestones, using Slack for quick issue resolution. Despite initial resistance to change, training sessions addressed user concerns, ultimately increasing user satisfaction by 40% post-upgrade.
When asked to estimate the time for a new Salesforce project, what factors would you consider? This question tests your project planning skills and ability to provide realistic time estimates. Here's what to think about when answering this. Thoroughly identify the project scope and requirements. Consider the complexity of system integrations. Evaluate the skills and experience of your team. Account for potential risks and uncertainties. Include time for testing and user training. To give you an idea, here's an example response.
To estimate the time needed, I would start by clearly defining the scope and requirements. Next, I'd assess any complex integrations required and consider the team's expertise. It's crucial to factor in potential risks and set aside time for both testing and user training, ensuring a comprehensive and realistic project timeline.
How would you handle a situation where a client requests a custom Salesforce solution that you believe isn't optimal? Interviewers use this question to gauge your client interaction skills and ability to diplomatically steer them towards better solutions. Consider these strategies when formulating your answer. Respectfully acknowledge the client's request. Explain your reasoning with factual data and examples. Suggest alternative solutions that better meet their needs. Emphasize the benefits of your proposed approach. Encourage collaboration and feedback from the client. Here's an example of how you might respond.
I would begin by acknowledging the client's request and thank them for their input. Then, I'd explain my concerns about the proposed solution, supporting my reasoning with data on potential drawbacks. I would suggest a more effective approach, highlighting its benefits, and invite the client to share their thoughts and preferences. Another approach would be to express appreciation for their ideas and share my perspective on why the original solution might not be optimal, supported by data or case studies. I'd propose a different solution that could yield better results and discuss how we can collaborate to implement it.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free. Just grab it below.